Let me get in Rakesh Sharma, ED at Bajaj Auto, to talk to us at NDTV Profit. Rakesh, good morning and welcome to the show, and always a pleasure to speak to you as well. Clearly, a bonanza that kicks in today. Your initial comments as to what are you expecting from this festive season?
Good morning. Nice to be here. Indeed, it's a very important day. And I think since the last 1 week, when we've seen the news of GST percolate down to the customers in urban areas and rural areas, there has been a very positive response. There have been a lot of uptick in inquiries and people calling up showrooms, visiting showrooms for their eventual purchase during the auspicious period, which commences from today, the Navratris, and then, of course, goes on, depending on the state, into Diwali and slightly beyond Diwali. So it has had a very positive impact. And we are expecting this to be, a point of inflection. Because if I may remind you, the industry actually unexpectedly was not doing so well, the motorcycle industry, because its growth on year-to-date basis is actually tad negative, -1% or so if you look at the Vahan registration data. Last year, it closed at about 6% growth, which is FY25. Motorcycle industry grew at 6%. But there was a little bit of a tumble, particularly in June, July, and also in August, bringing the industry growth from April to August to -1. So a couple of growth inhibitors, which we felt were there, and these were, the inflation, which was reducing the disposable surplus to our kind of customers, and also a little bit of restraint on the side of retail finance companies in response to a disposable surplus getting weakened. Now, both these growth inhibitors, so to say, will get mitigated to a large extent by the GST cut. And therefore, hopefully, this will take the industry from a negative zone into a positive zone going forward.
So Rakesh, we were just picking up the Vahan data right now as well, where they've clearly indicated today that the sales volumes have actually declined in the first 21 days of September. And this is on the back of the Shraddh period, which is between 7th to the 21st of September, whereas last year, Shraddh was 17th September to the 2nd of October. So there is that time shift that has happened there. Secondly, the GST reforms, which have led to the postponement of new buying by consumers, has happened, and due to which the two-wheeler sales have declined around 31%. That's the number that we're picking up from Vahan data. Taking this aspect into consideration, what's the significant uptick that you expect, taking Navratra into consideration now? And do you think it will be able to suffice for that downtick that has happened in these first 21 days?
Well, I'm not really concerned at all about this downtick, because we're not comparing apples and oranges, and there is this very big discontinuity. Everyone will wait for the GST rates to kick in. Why would anyone buy before that? So that's not the issue. The larger issue is the industry was in negative territory from April to August. That's a long enough period, and hopefully, with this action, the government would have strengthened the case for the industry going into a positive zone and at least equaling last year's growth rate, which is what was the expectation, that the industry should grow at 5 to 6%. So hopefully we can get back to that kind of growth rate in the coming period. I won't slice it to 8-9 days and then compare it with because it's not comparable data. We don't compare it like that. If at all, we will do an equivalent date comparison.
Mr. Sharma, good morning. Neeraj here. And just trying to understand, dealer checks seem to suggest that, I mean, there were dealers who said, "Ke itna demand hoga, we will not be able to meet." I mean, specific categories, specific models, specific companies. I'm just trying to understand, do you get a sense that, I know you're not looking at 9 days, but do you get a sense that these 9 days could usher in demand which will be very, very or much higher than what otherwise would have been believed?
I think so, of course, that the new demand which will come in the festive season should be better than what it was before, because I told you that the industry was in negative territory over a really long April to August period. And this is the point of inflection. There is not only quantitatively, but I think even qualitatively, we will see some of the forces of uptrading getting even more strengthened. So definitely we see a change.
Are you seeing that, sir? I mean, I'm just trying to understand. When I think of it, I would not pre-book a TV, a AC, an apparel, but I would pre-book a vehicle, right, for getting delivery during these days. Are you sensing that the pre-bookings are strong enough already?
Yes, from the conversation, see, that's why I'm again saying that it's not, the news is just filtering in. It is, despite the best efforts of the media people, it's not as if, everyone is plugged in. And
Okay.
it takes time for it to be filtered into at least our kind of customers. These are very different from car customers. The average income is 40,000 to 50,000 per month. And the news is just filtered in. The conversations we are having with our dealerships and what they are having with their customers suggest that there is a very good positive response. Now that has to actualize itself in beginning today, going forward.
My question coming to you is, with all of that kicks in now, by the time people digest, the rate cuts that have come in, one, are you expecting any shift to happen to the premium segment because disposable income becomes higher? And if so, what is that segment that should work for a Bajaj Auto? And two, would you still anticipate a 6 to 8% growth in two-wheelers then for FY26?
Yeah, so certainly one qualitative impact of the rate cut in the GST would be to further strengthen the forces which are causing the customer to upgrade. This is the underlying trend. If you look at the year which was the peak year of the motorcycle industry, which was FY 18-19, almost 60% of the industry at that time was 100cc or below. And now, if you take the year-to-date numbers, that 60% has reduced to 45% over 6-7 years. So that is the shift. But these shifts occur steadily and slowly. This will certainly get more strengthened because as you move up the demand pyramid, the strength of the wallet is better. And that allows people to consider a higher end bike, which was not in their grasp earlier, but now which becomes in their grasp because of the reduction in the on-road price. So certainly we will see the 125cc plus segment growing faster than the bottom half, so to say. And that's also a very good qualitative, hopefully qualitative outcome of the GST cuts.
Mr. Sharma, just one final quick question. Just trying to understand, there is, of course, an MRP reduction because of GST, no impact per se, but there will also be a reduction in the cost of the inputs that all auto companies would take, right? I would suppose so. Is all of that margin neutral, or is there a margin difference to your mind?
No, the GST cut is to that extent margin neutral because, there are these set-offs which were available earlier and these set-offs are also available going forward. But it makes a big difference to the customer. It makes a difference to the customer in the on-road price, to some extent in the financing cost, and subsequently also in the maintenance cost, because the spare part prices would also see a reduction because they're going from, again, the GST has gone from 28 to 18%. So the substantive benefit, of course, is to the customers.
Okay. Mr. Sharma, we wish you all the best for this festive season and more. Happy Navratras to you and everybody at Bajaj Auto. Thanks for taking the time out.
Best wishes to all of you too.
Thank you, sir.